Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back through daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Quant Network, aka QNT. So sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask guys to hit that like button. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course I do always greatly appreciate it. Today we're going to be talking about the truth behind Quant, and guys, we were all lied to. I mean, Quant is literally going to zero. It's done. It's dead. It doesn't offer any sort of utility at all. It is honestly going to go... Guys, come on. It's going to $10,000. It has a massive amount of utility behind it. And today we're going to be talking about why I am so extremely bullish on it long term. But honestly, in general, for the price action moves and price targets, I will talk about my price targets for QNT, how long I have to wait until those are met, and also why I foresee those targets actually being targeted. So let's just dive in, let's talk about it, and let's go and look at QNT. So QNT actually has been on a massive downtrend. Funny as it is, we've actually hit my perfect buy point, and yes, I did add to my Quant bag, and we're going to be talking about why I did, why I do think that it is an incredible opportunity at these levels, and we are also going to be talking about the power behind Quant and the potential behind this asset as well. But first, let's go check out the holders tab. So we've actually been still in a 3-month span on a massive accumulation zone for total addresses holding this, and we are so extremely early in terms of the amount of numbers that we are seeing here in terms of the total addresses at 47 only 0.9k. If you guys don't know why I'm saying like only 47.9k for this, guys, 33% less supply. Not only that, but go check out the Bitcoin total addresses. You will be absolutely shocked, and here we actually have that. So let's go to the holders tab and look at how many total addresses there are. This is why I say that we are so early into things like Quant. Understand exactly where you are positioned at. Now, let's also talk about Quant. So first off, let's go to the chart. So like I said, I've always had this little demand line down here for a little bit of time. We actually came down a little bit below it, actually. Massive sell-off event, by the way. In my opinion, I think that this is massive capitulation. I've always addressed it. Let's go to the weekly real quick so that we can actually address this real quick. So here we have the weekly. Now on the weekly, it doesn't really look that great, but you guys do see that small little bit of support around this range. We could actually go back to the daily and zoom in a little bit on this area and really kind of see and address where I've been really kind of eyeing this. So first off, there's been a few levels. One, it's the wick that we've seen back in July down to this point, but also the little bit of support that we built before we cascaded down in the summertime. This is a perfect demand zone. And in fact, I was waiting for it to be targeted, and I'm glad that we finally seen it, because now we could really kind of look at, why was this a perfect demand zone buy, and why there is so much potential from this point on. So let's address a few targets. So obviously, yes, this does need to have a strong recovery for this actually to be even a good buy point. And where is that recovery at? Well, first off, I'm waiting for 152 on QNT to be fully bullish on QNT short term. So we actually have to wait a little bit for this to actually get back to that point and recover fully. But this is where things get interesting. The fib outreaches. So again, I've been addressing a few price targets for, the end of the cycle. In general, when we are talking about the end of the cycle, it could be by the end of 2022. It could be the fall timeframe. It could be as, soon as possibly the end of the summer. Now let's address, like I've said, a few targets on this. So one, my profit point area, $675. This, to me, is an easy profit take point. It's a 6.7 X from here, sorry. And from our buy points, it's actually in well over like 20, 30, 40. I don't even know, honestly. My entry points are around the summertime. I could actually look at this because I have not calculated at all. So I was buying like support around like the April timeframe. So this would be a 17X to me, which again, like I said, is a perfect point for me to get some profit from QNT. Now, am I holding this long term as well? 100%. I have a trading bag, and I also have a long-term bag of QNT, and my long-term bag is, again, for those higher price targets of like 10K plus, and we're going to be talking about why I foresee those targets actually being met on QNT, but we are also going to talk about the technology behind it as well. Now, Yes, I do think that we could see, as high as like $4,000 plus, which from here would be a 52x opportunity. Pretty insane when you look at it. But again, is this 100% a guarantee by the end of the cycle? No, not at all. In fact, as we kind of push well beyond the 1618, that's where things get a little bit more risky to wait for. Again, is it possible? Yeah, sure, it is. But I'm not going to, say, all right, I'm going all in and I'm waiting for $4,500 to sell. So in the short term, I would say, conservative prices. It's between like this $800 range to roughly this, $1,200 range, which I know to some of these people that have bought the tops, yeah, this might not seem like a lot, but hey, it is conservative, and dropping your DCA right now would be pretty good, in my opinion, for a 13x from these levels. Now, let's talk about, the current market structure, because I know that a lot of people will most likely say, we're in a bear market, it's dead, it's done, don't even put your money in, it's going down another 25, 50, 90%. Guys, look at the Bitcoin overall technology adoption life cycle right now, and look at where we currently are. If we do drop down to like roughly like 29K here, I'm still not going to be too worried at all. And in fact, I would just DCA a little bit more on QNT. I never say chase a falling knife. That's always why I say just average in a little bit. Don't don't go all in. Always have a manual stop loss. And when I say manual stop loss, do not put an automatic stop loss in. Have your manual price that you want to sell at in case you do lose a little bit, and stick to it. Now let's talk about Quant, and let's talk about why I do foresee it having an incredible price action move in the future. Because when we talk about the future of QNT, I foresee this being the next Bitcoin of our generation. And when we look at Bitcoin, this would basically be a 49.2K QNT at Bitcoin's current market cap, or a 570x from here. And we do see here. Now, this is where things get interesting. So I just made a Chainlink video the other day, and I seen a comment saying, why would you even talk about, Chainlink when there is Quant? And guys, it's not that, we're here to just go full maxi and say, all right, well, Quant is definitely the future, so let's only go all in on Quant. No, we are not doing that. In fact, when we talk about Chainlink versus Quant, Chainlink also has some pretty incredible use cases behind it in terms of smart contracts and connectivity within, just data and things like that. But the big thing that differs between these two is what Quant can do. And by the way, just so you guys know, real quick before I do Control F, this is from the European Central Bank talking about the use of DLT in post-trade processes. But let me go back down here. So DLT-based systems for DLT solutions by Quant. Quant's Overledger operating system is a DLT-based system for interconnecting and enabling interoperability between DLT-based and conventional systems. It is aimed at facilitating the communication, migration, and exchange of information/value among different systems by allowing general-purpose applications to run on top of them. Now, I want you guys to understand exactly what they're saying here. Interconnecting and enabling interoperability between DLT-based and conventional systems. Do you know what that means? That means that they are interconnecting legacy systems with DLT-based systems. All your favorite layer ones that everyone is telling you to accumulate, XRP, HBAR, XLM, this, that, whatever. All of those DLTs will have to have that interconnectivity layer between them for, again, the legacy system, for them to truly be utilized and value to be derived. How are they going to achieve that? Well, through our best friend, Quant. This is why I foresee this being the next Bitcoin, because of the amount of money that will flow over something like this. Now, also, there is not only this article, but there's many other ones regarding this. We see World Bank, actually. Here's the World Bank document on blockchain interoperability. Funny as it is, we do still see Quant being mentioned multiple times here. In fact, we even see technology approaches, the multi-blockchain dApps, maps, but we also see the Overledger platform by Quant Network connects various blockchain networks as well as legacy systems. The platform provides a blockchain-agnostic operating system for business applications to run. It currently supports Hyperledger Fabric, Corda, Ethereum, Bitcoin, IOTA, EOS, and Ripple, either permissioned or permissionless, and provides Java and JavaScript SDKs for developers to develop applications to run on the platform. And we do see Quant Network uses its own dApps technology, multi-blockchain dApps, or MDApps. Now, again, I want you guys to understand right now what is happening with Quant. As we do really look at, things happening around specifically, the current financial system, and then of course we do see DLTs getting a major spotlight. There's going to, be that major need for interoperability. In fact, we already see that being a problem right now with CBDCs. This is where QNT really kind of steps in. And of course, by the way, in terms of those massive fib outreaches on QNT, we actually have the last 4618 on QNT being 181,251. Mind you, this would be, okay? Now, this is where things get interesting. So $181,000. Just so you guys know, here's $181,000 on paper, a 2100x, a $2.4 trillion market cap. Seems unrealistic, right? Now, of course, I'm not going off of the direct, dollar figure amount here. It would be 2,600 or so. But when we look at this, right? We look at this from the perspective on how much money could Quant actually, derive. And this actually isn't on the specific fib level. There we go. It's on it now. When we look at this, we're looking at it at a $2.4 trillion market cap. And we kind of compare and contrast what amount of money moves over these legacy systems on a day-to-day basis. For example, $6 trillion a day in cross-border trade. We look at Swift. Swift handles about $5 trillion of that a day. And when we look at things around Quant, I do believe that Quant, interconnecting the legacy systems to a lot of these DLT systems that do, really spotlight efficient use cases on the cross-border sector, I foresee a large amount of capital flowing over Quant's overledger. Now, where does QNT as a token come into play here? Because QNT is completely different than Quant. QNT as a token actually is going to be utilized by every single enterprise-grade user or institution that is utilizing the Overledger network, which in my opinion is going to be a very large amount of individuals, as we do see Quant partnering with Oracle, SIA, and so many other major networks like even LAC Chain. These are massive names. These are names that are connected with major amounts of entities specifically around the banking sector and financial sector. So when we talk about this, right? $2.4 trillion in market cap is something fairly significant, but it is also something that could move and happen fairly quick for a lot of projects that do have the potential to get to those points. Now, am I waiting for $181,000 on QNT? No. I might have a stack left over for that, but honestly, even if we got to like $34,000, which would be, again, a significant profit point, it would be roughly about a 389x opportunity. That's a level that I do think is going to be something pretty significant. And also, by the way, the last fib outreach up here takes it to about like a massive figure. But these are just levels that I'm watching specifically on the long-term span. It is something pretty significant to really kind of compare and contrast. But when you look at the Bitcoin metrics compared to Quant, and also the utility behind Quant compared to Bitcoin, I definitely do think that QNT at some point in time will hit that $1 trillion mark in terms of market cap, and it will most likely be by 2030. So I'm definitely hodling this long term, but also I do have a short term trade bag on this one. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are on this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.